Hey, Mike with No Problems Gaming here, and today's video will be covering another huge Steam sale and 10 of the best Steam games worth buying this week, where every single game has an overall rating of very positive or better, so let's get into it. The first game on today's list is Starvaders. Now this is a unique deck building game that blends deck building mechanics with gameplay elements similar to the Space Invaders series. And you'll play as different heroes piloting mechs that are trying to stop an alien invasion and to defend humanity. And the game features grid-based combat combined with deck building, and you'll need to strategically place your mechs on the board and utilize card-based abilities to defeat oncoming waves of aliens in grid-based combat. At the same time, you'll also need to prevent the aliens from reaching the bottom layer of this grid, because when they're there, they start to accumulate doom, and when this gets high enough, it can actually lead to a game over. So you'll need to specifically manage placements of your mechs using key abilities and defeating these aliens in time if you hope to survive. There's multiple playable characters that each have a very distinct and unique play style, which is really cool. And this will lead to many different strategies you'll need to master and develop as you progress throughout the game. I think if you like deck building elements or are a fan of the Space Invaders series and like tactical combat, I'd recommend checking this game out. The next game is Warhammer The End Times Vermintide. Now this is a fast-paced first-person shooter meets hack and slash that's set in a dark fantasy world set in apocalyptic times where an invasion of rat men are threatening to destroy the city and end the world. And you'll need to work together as a band of heroes to stop this oncoming threat and to protect the city. Now the game almost has a Left 4 Dead-like feel to it, but instead of zombies, you're facing these rat-like creatures and other monstrous enemies. And you can work together in co-op, playing together in multiplayer as a team, but again, set in this dark gothic, cool Warhammer themed universe. And so it's awesome to get to play through these dark cities, castle dungeons, and other fantasy-based areas. And you'll also control different hero types with this fantasy theme as well. So you'll have things like knights and mages and archers and dwarves and more, each with their own unique play style. And combat is focused mainly on melee combat, but you do have some ranged elements as well. And these will differ from character to character, whether you're casting ranged spells, again using bow and arrows or crossbows, or other weapon types that fit your character's theme. Characters can also find loot throughout their runs, and this can be different items, weapons, and armor, and various upgrades. And so it's fun to try and collect these different upgrade options as you progress through the game. Gameplay definitely gets pretty chaotic and intense, as there'll be enemies flying out from every corner. And I think if you can find a few friends to play with, this game gets even better. But if you like intense first-person shooters and a dark fantasy theme, I'd recommend checking this one out. The next game is The Forgotten City. And so this is a first-person adventure mystery game. And you'll play as a hero that's trapped in a time loop in an ancient Roman city, and you actually need to unravel a mysterious occurrence that's causing everyone in the city to turn to gold if they don't follow the golden rule. And so you actually need to solve this mystery by interrogating different citizens throughout the city, finding different clues, and really unraveling this mystery of why people are turning to gold and how you can stop it and escape this never-ending time loop. It does have some light action elements, but again, it's more of a game of discovery and unraveling this story and experiencing the narrative to solve this mystery. So I think if you like mysteries and story-driven games, this one's worth checking out as well. The next game is Core Keeper. Now this is a pixel art open world survival game with an ever-evolving procedurally generated world. And you'll play as an explorer who ends up trapped in a vast underground cavern, and you need to find a way to survive and discover a way out of this cavern network. And so the gameplay loop really centers around exploring the caverns, hunting down resources, and crafting items to enhance your abilities and to allow you to further dive deeper into this cavern system in hopes of finding a way out. Now the gameplay focuses on action combat and challenging bosses throughout each area. And another neat element is that each area of the cavern feels like a totally different biome, and so there's different enemy types and unique characteristics to each section that you're playing through. And there's also a variety of weapon types to find and choose from. And so this can be like swords, axes, bow and arrows, and much more. And this will alter your strategy and play style throughout combat as well, as you take on the different biomes and challenging boss fights. Gameplay is incredibly addictive, and I think if you like survival games and pixel art style, this one's worth checking out as well. The next game is Heaven Dust 2. Now this is a survival horror game that's heavily inspired by classic early Resident Evil titles, and you'll play as Steve, a survivor from the first game, after you wake up from a cryogenic sleep in a mysterious lab and need to find your way out and escape this chaos. And gameplay is a top-down perspective survival game, and you'll need to fight your way through waves of zombies and other monstrous horrors, all while surviving puzzles and managing limited resources to escape this horror. Now the good news is that they've done away with the terrible tank controls like many classic survival horror games have, and gone with a more modern control scheme. But the gameplay is still pretty intense because you definitely have limited resources and limited ammo as you explore. There's a variety of guns and weapon types that you can find, as well as items that you can use to craft more ammo and craft healing items for your character. And there's even opportunities to upgrade your guns throughout the game, making them more powerful and helping you get through this nightmare. Again, I think if you like classic survival horror games, this one's worth checking out as well. The next game is Azure Striker Gunvolt. Now this is a fast-paced action platformer, very similar to the classic Mega Man X series, and this game is set in a futuristic Japan where you'll play as Gunvolt, a powerful young adept, which are basically superhumans, in a world that's at war between humans and adepts, and you need to try and find a way to maintain the peace. And again, similar to the Mega Man X series, you'll have a ranged gun weapon for your character, but this only scratches the surface of combat, where typically this gun is actually used to mark enemies, and once that's done, you can actually unleash powerful electric attacks to defeat your enemies as part of your power set. But along with this, combat is uniquely balanced in that you have an energy bar that will quickly deplete as you use this electric power and your other abilities, and so you need to strategically manage this throughout the fast-paced combat to make sure you don't run out of energy and leave yourself vulnerable for a period of time while that recharges. And so this can lead to some chaos on screen, trying to manage your gun attacks, your electric attacks, and power bar. But I think this chaos is a lot of fun, and you'll need to do this alongside the action platforming, the intense boss fights, and much more. And so I think if you like challenging action platformers or are a fan of the classic Mega Man X series, this game is definitely worth checking out as well. The next game is Prince of Persia: Warrior Within. Now this is an intense action adventure game that takes place in an ancient land, and you'll start off by traveling to the island of Time, where you'll play as the prince as he tries to stop his eventual death and to destroy the sands of time and the evil entity controlling it. Now the game features intense platforming and parkour. It's a blend of fast-paced combat, wall jumping, climbing elements, and much more as you take on these enemy threats and unleash devastating combos to destroy them. You'll also have the ability to alter time through your adventure, and this allows you to jump through the past, but also into a future world where the environment changes quite a bit, and this can actually lead to solving puzzles, accessing new areas, and really a whole new world to explore as you travel back and forth between the different timelines. I thought this was a really cool element to the game and introduced some interesting gameplay mechanics. And along with this time travel element, you also have the ability to enter more of a power-up mode as you progress through the game, which really ramps up your power, but at the same time, it steadily depletes your life bar. And so this adds another layer of intensity to the game and almost a push your luck element of how much you want to utilize this special power, but putting yourself at risk at the same time. Overall, I think the game has interesting level designs, fun combat, and a cool story, and if you like action-adventure games, this one's worth checking out as well. The next game is Duke Nukem 3D, the 20th Anniversary World Tour. Now this is a revival of a retro first-person shooter classic where you'll play as Duke Nukem as they try and stop an alien invasion of Earth. And the gameplay is really centered around fast-paced combat and utilizing a lot of devastating weapons to take out your enemies. But also half of the fun of the game is that you're playing as Duke Nukem, and he has some over-the-top commentary scattered throughout the game as you explore and encounter enemies and kill enemies. And so he's basically a souped-up 80s action hero, full of over-the-top catchphrases. And again, it's a fun to experience this world as you're playing as him in this fast-paced adventure. Another awesome part of the game is they've really revamped the controls where they're super responsive and they're very customizable as well, so you can really alter them as you see fit to fit your play style. There's some interesting co-op features added to the game, some deathmatch options, a quick rewind feature, extra content, and much more. And I think if you want to relive this classic first-person shooter, I would recommend checking this one out as well. The next game is Persona 3 Reload. Now this is a remake of the classic Persona 3 title that's an interesting turn-based RPG meets relationship builder. And you'll play as a new transfer student that quickly discovers a mysterious dark hour that happens every evening, and it's a phenomenon that encases any person without unique special powers into a coffin, and at the same time mysterious shadow monsters descend upon the city as well. And so you'll need to team up with a Seize group as you try and unravel the mystery behind this dark hour and how to stop it and save the city. And so along with this, you'll have to spend a lot of time developing relationships between the different characters throughout the school and city. And while doing this, it can also enhance your character's stats and abilities. And this comes in handy as well as you're trying to take out and defeat these shadow monsters in turn-based combat scattered throughout the game. It features full voice acting, an interesting story, and fun combat. If you like intriguing stories, relationship builder games, and turn-based RPGs, this one's worth checking out as well. The final game on today's list is Shadow Tactics: Blades of the Shogun. Now this is a mission-based tactical strategy game where you'll play as a team of specialists that take on a rebellion that's trying to overthrow and stop a new shogun's rule in feudal Japan. And so this team of specialists actually consists of a variety of heroes that have unique abilities like a ninja, a samurai, a geisha, a trap master, and a sniper. And you'll need to strategically utilize these different characters' powers and abilities to clear missions and defeat guards and enemies in order to reach your goals. Now the game does give you some creative freedom to choose which heroes you want to utilize throughout each mission, and it's not just a one-size-fits-all way to solve these puzzles, so it gives you the freedom to mix and match their different abilities to find creative ways to clear each mission. It does have a surprisingly deep story, challenging gameplay, and I think if you like strategy-based games, this one's worth checking out as well. But again, that wraps up today's video on the 10 best Steam games worth buying this week in the latest Steam sale. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Have you played any of these games before? Are you going to pick any of them up now that you know that they're on sale? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you like this video, be sure to hit that like button as it really helps out the channel.
And another really cool way you can help support the channel is we actually partnered with a game store, Nutmeg Games. So if you like board games, Pokemon cards, Magic cards, and more, be sure to head to nutmeggames.com/nerdproblemsgaming and use our promo code nerdproblemsgaming at checkout. You'll get 10% off your order and help support the channel at the same time. So if you want to take advantage of those great deals, be sure to head there as well.
And if you like videos like this on video games, board games, and everything nerdy, check out one of our other videos here. And if you haven't done so yet, be sure to subscribe and turn on the bell notifications to get the latest updates of new nerd videos we put out. But once again, thanks for tuning in, and we'll talk to you more soon.